The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, it's Elisa speaking and introducing
Sarah. Hi, everyone.
well,
We're both the floristry teachers here at Box Hill TAFE.
welcome to Certificate 2 and 3 in Floristry. So we're going to talk to you a bit about the course to start off with. And then we're going to do an introduction, Box Hill Institute overview, course images and classroom activities and engagements, career outcomes, why do you study floristry at Box Hill Institute, and then we've got questions and answers, and then we've got audience questions and answers and how to apply a video.
So we'll just give it a few seconds. We'll just let those that are still join in, and then we can begin. Excellent. So just go to the next slide here. So we've got myself and Alyssa here. So we both have a range of experience in the industry. I myself went to Box Hill TAFE many years ago and have been, I guess, blessed to have a wonderful career in events, corporate designs. I ended up with my own event company, and then I've gone to the next step, which is teaching floristry. And Alyssa can say a little bit about herself as well.
Yep, so I've been in the floristry or in the industry since I was about 12, and it's a family-owned business, but I've worked in a range of floristry shops, and at the moment I'm doing teaching, and I'm currently running my own business as well. So yeah, I do that on the side, which is good. So
excellent.
Okay, so what we stand for, our vision is to help the students grow into proud and successful learners and are valued by industry and our community. So our course is really valued by our industry. So we have a very strong background in floristry and in retail because we have a shop called Flowers on Alga. So our students actually are able to have hands-on experience with that, and they can serve real live customers, which is great.
It is. So next one, our campus locations. So we actually have our course runs at Box Hill TAFE. It is a really central location. We're right near the station, and there's a lot of public transport options as well. So we have the shop and the classroom combined on Alga Road. So we do deal with the public as well as a lot of our customers through the actual TAFE, which is wonderful as well, because then we get a really great rapport with our customers, and they're continual customers. So the students will develop that throughout their course with the same customers coming in each week to be served by our students.
Our classroom tasks, so as I said before, we've got Flowers on Alga, which is a retail shop that is run by staff and the students. So we sell a range of giftwares in there as well. Not a huge range at the moment, but we're building that up. And we're also incorporating cards and different things from other departments. So we actually go across and we share across the whole, all the different teams, and we do a lot of work for them as well. So such as fashion, hair and beauty, and things like that. We do a lot of events, and they also come in as live customers. So from hospitality and things like that, they'll come into us and ask us to make up arrangements for them. So the students have the opportunity to actually have that experience of being with a customer and serving a customer, and then making the order as well, which is really good. In these images, you can actually see we had a tea party one day, so that was prior to COVID. Now we have all covered food, but the students actually made up their own table centres that day. And then Sarah might want to talk about another couple of photos on there.
Yes, so in the classroom as well, the students, and there's a really lovely group shot there with Alyssa's current class, and she would do, and we always do, a lovely demonstration item, and then the students can create their items. So they get a lot of choice. So this was an experimental headpiece that they're all wearing. So they're slightly different. Usually we'll have a lovely mix of flowers, and they can choose as well what flower types they're using. It just depends what part of the course they're at to do that as well. While the other photos in there will represent is some bridal bouquets that the students have been constructing, as well as another experimental headpiece, which is the lovely photo down in the corner, which we're doing new and modern techniques in. So that was doing a combination of gluing and wiring, as well as structural design. So we do a lot in our classroom, and a very, I guess, mixed diversity of things as well, to keep obviously student engagement, and as well as to make every class interesting.
And the one thing we do try to do with our students is we teach them, not only do we teach them the underpinning knowledge, we also respect and we encourage them with their own styles as well. So we sort of find in our teaching that some of the students have different styles that they do. So what we do is we teach them how to polish up those styles and make them industry ready, and then once they've actually got that style polished up, we might then turn around and say, okay, let's do it a different way. And so, you know, they become sort of bilingual in the way that they create things and make things up. So it's pretty good. The students also get to design their own bouquets, as Sarah said, with the wedding work. And we do have real live clients that come in and ask for us to do their wedding flowers for them. So if it doesn't fit in with our classes, we will pass those clients off to students that have actually finished in our course, and we give out their names and phone numbers so they can do the weddings for us, so which is really good. It's a good experience. So, and we look after them once they've left, which is great. Any more? Did you want to add?
That's fine. I don't know. Excellent. So we do a very large amount of industry engagement at Box Hill Floristry. Industry is really important with floristry to be aware of current trends, aware of suppliers and growers, and go and visit and see it for ourselves. So we do try and do that as much as possible. So we usually enter the Melbourne Flower and Garden Show. So even if the students aren't competing, they can still go and assist to create our large scale design, which is in one of the photos there, which we have done this last year actually. We do this every year. So we do a large scale design, and there is also other opportunities for students to compete as well against each other, depending on their level. So the other floristry competitions we have done in the past is within our own classroom. So we will go and donate table centres. There's a lot of different charities and things that we've been involved in, as well as the Box Hill Society Garden Flower Show, which was judged as well by an external judge the other year. So, and then there is other night at the AAFD, which is our floral I guess, organisation in Victoria. So we do a lot of external and internal competitions, and that's a non-requirement. However, we find that we do get a lot of participation from our students. So we also, as Alyssa was saying, do weddings and events through Box Hill TAFE. We do, with the events and the weddings, we do real life brides, and we also do real life events where we do go into Federation Square as well as other big large scale events, and we will do big beautiful table centres and large scale designs there as well, which is a wonderful thing about when you're doing weddings and large scale events, to help and assist the students with actually creating them on site, knowing about bump in and bump out, and to set up and then taking down of the events. Another one of industry engagement we do is excursions. So we do love to go see the actual flowers growing. There's a photo there of the lotus farm that we went and visited earlier this year. So we also do go visit other suppliers and growers where we get our flowers from, and our sundry suppliers where we can get our ribbons and our vases and things from. So the students, by going there, can develop a rapport and a relationship with those businesses, which will help them get the confidence to go and order when they begin their own wedding orders, and have their own small businesses if that's what they're choosing to do. So would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, And just this year, due to the COVID and how we know that the social distancing and large scale events have been shut down. So, in early March this year, the flower show was meant to go ahead and then it was cancelled because of the COVID. And my group in particular, they were entering the student competition and they'd put so much work into it. So, what we did was we went ahead and we ordered the flowers anyway. And then we've sent the photographs off to a judge or a couple of judges to judge it for us, as well as the judging criteria. So they haven't missed out either. So that's yet to be judged yet. It is being done, but just due to COVID and stuff like that, it slowed the process down just a tad. And Sarah's group as well, they get to enter the wildflower competition as well, and that one is to do with all Australian wildflowers and also South African natives they can use as well. And we base it around an assessment in the classroom, and then the students, we get them professionally photographed, so the students get to keep the photos as well, and then we send them off to New South Wales, I think is it Sarah, to the Australian Wildflower Association, and then what happens there is they judge it, and it's usually all the TAFEs within Victoria and actually nationally go into that, which is good. So that's good experience for the students as well. Yeah. So student displays, students complete and participate in classroom and individual displays throughout the course. So there's a couple photographed here and my students have just completed them today. So these are their final assessment and the theme for this one is a wedding fair. So in produce visual merchandising displays, which is the unit they've had to complete there. And also there's another unit which is prepare quotations. And so they actually have to quote and cost everything. So we teach them that, how to order the flowers, they have a budget that is set for them, and they're not allowed to spend over the budget. If they do, they have to put their own money into that. Some of them do because they want to, and we also teach them the skills and the knowledge on how to put the displays together and how to make them look good actually, and give them a bit of rhythm to move your eye through it. So you can see that with the two displays there. They're really sort of, they're not only beautiful flowers, but they're actually really nice and relaxing to look at. Sarah's group as well do another display unit, which is create a display for a small business. And so that's at the start of the course, whereas mine's near the end of the course. So Sarah might want to talk about that one since yours have just completed it.
Yes, so there is the photo in the right corner, which has got the flower cart there, which has got an Easter display. So this one was done by one of my current students just last week. So you can see that she's got a colour theme going. There's a lot of props that will help with that example of the Easter. So they all did a wonderful job, and usually will be in the classroom and in that shop Flowers on Alga, where they will display next to each other. So it's wonderful to see where you'll have 4 or 5 displays that will contrast and the shop just looks full and beautiful. So normally as well with Flowers on Alga, they're constantly doing shop displays because we're all creating our items that we decide, what we're selling. So we might make beautiful posy jars and then we will display them in the shop and in conjunction with our beautiful giftware, and as well as using different props to raise them up and condition and look after those shop displays every week that we're in that room. So we also there's a beautiful ceiling panel that we have above our shop displays, which we do change over. At the moment, it's got gorgeous dried flowers, and the students will usually help when we change it over to come up with a concept. And once we have the concept, we'll plan to change that into another really amazing roof display. So we don't just do, obviously, just the shop designs. We're also doing large installations like that roof display as doing a big, impacting display in the classroom, which we are very lucky and fortunate to have at Box Hill TAFE.
And another important part, I suppose, that we cover as well is at the beginning of the course where we do teach the students how to set up just the flower stand as well. So they actually, have all the buckets of flowers delivered. So they're taught how to prepare them and care for them and replenish them. But then rather than dividing them up and letting them work on all the flowers, we actually set them up into containers and vases and into a stand actually in the shop. So then they have to be like they're in the real shop where they're choosing their flowers off the stand and they're having to clean up after themselves and all that kind of thing. So that's really good as well too. And each for them to learn, and each students, they sort of go in teams of 2 or 3, and they're to work that out how they want to set the display up, and then the other group come in and do it for them. So there's a lot of problem solving as well involved in floristry, and it's a lot of fun for them as well, because once they get out into the industry, that's a really important part of a shop, is actually setting up a shop display. A florist will actually spend up to an hour and a half, probably even 2 hours, in setting up a shop display. So yeah, that's pretty strong.
Excellent. So we currently offer Certificate 2 and Certificate 3 in floristry. And who is suited to study a career in floristry? We have a really diverse range of students coming to us. So it could be that you're seeking a career in the floristry industry, which it definitely would be. Then it could also be that you're looking to start your own online or retail floristry business. This one's a really important one because a lot of, I guess people out there don't realise the skill and technique behind even making a simple posy. So when I was doing the one-day workshops through Box Hill TAFE, I did find a lot would enrol due to the fact that they learnt so much in that one day. And before you open any kind of shop, it is wonderful to get the skills behind you. So that one's a really important one. If you are looking to do any type of floristry, having those skills is so important in our industry. So another one is to have, if you have any passion for flowers and nature, that's a huge starting point for this career. Career change, we have a diverse range. So I have had students that have been nurses for 30 years or accountants, and they just really would love a natural and, I guess, fun change of career. So, and as well as learning new skills. So it depends, everyone has a different reason for doing the course. And there's so many different fields, which Alyssa will talk to you soon about, but definitely learning in any industry is so important for that.
So just a couple of questions have come up here from somebody who's watching. So one of them is, what do you enjoy most about floristry? So I can answer that, and then Sarah can. I just like it because we work with Mother Nature's beautiful flowers, and it's really relaxing. But also as well, we're actually able to problem solve. So nothing is ever the same. So even though we make up the same design, day in, day out in the industry, it's always different because Mother Nature creates different, bends and twists and colours and things like that in, creating the stems. So that's good. And also as well, like Sarah, I also studied at Box Hill. So I really, really loved coming to school. I absolutely adored it. And there was just a lot of fun. The people that I actually met at school was fantastic. I mean, it was many years ago now, but the people I met at school, I'm still in touch with a few of them. So you sort of see them throughout the industry. And that's the thing about it too. Our industry is a really close-knit industry. There's a lot of people in it, but we all know each other as well, and there's a lot of support with it as well.
Excellent. I might answer the other one when I'll go off the next page.
Yep.
So, page.
Sorry, it's not clicking. Yep.
Now you can do this one.
Oh, okay. So the career outcomes for this are obviously to become a retail florist, an event florist or stylist, corporate or studio florist. So just to go on them a bit, the retail florist is a shop front. So it's basically in a shop, and you're working behind the counter, behind the, in the workroom out the back, serving customers in the shop that are actually walking in, taking orders over the phone, and some of them are on, through the web and that as well. So that's really a retail shop. The event floral stylist, that's somebody who actually sets up large scale designs for parties, events, sometimes funerals, weddings, fashion shoots. What else could we do? Christmases. Some event florists are actually lucky enough to go in and decorate people's homes each week and actually do all the flowers through the house. So it's large scale. So you can see the image there. That was from a large scale event that our students got to do with us for Box Hill Fashion at Federation Square, which is fantastic. So in regards to that, they were so lucky because you get to spend quite a lot of money, obviously, on the flowers, and it's really good experience. events. But also the event stylists, they're big with weddings as well. So it's really your wedding work. So, you know, hanging installations, arbors, wedding bouquets, setting up the aisles, setting up the reception venues, the foyers, the bathrooms, the bars, you know, all those sort of things, restaurants and things like that. The corporate or studio florist usually is somebody who has a studio at home, or it could be in a warehouse somewhere. They actually don't have a retail shop, and they do flowers for the week for different restaurants, or it could be real estate agents, or like I said before, homes as well. Sarah, I'm going to let you answer the travel opportunities because Sarah actually has travelled abroad with work. So, yep.
So traveling is something that is really wonderful that florists can do. So unlike other certificates, ours and our skills are valued throughout anywhere really, whether it's America or Europe. So for myself, I did go to Europe, which was amazing, and base myself in London, and it was really wonderful, you know, picking up new skills, looking at their industry. I did that actually straight after I completed my certificate at Box Hill TAFE, and for me that was one of the most exciting and fun times of my career. So another one, if you do even go on Seek and things like that, you'll see there's always ones in Hamilton Island and looking for, you know, on-site florists, and whether it's cruise ships. So there is wonderful experience with that certificate that you can use in our industry.
Yeah, and also if you travel abroad as well, you can also go and do workshops overseas while you're traveling with international florists. So in a lot of our books and magazines, they actually contribute to them. So not only have we got a lot of Australian florists that are really, you know, good and top designers, and, you know, we can do workshops with them, but we can also do workshops overseas as well at the same time. The small business and online owner, that is somebody who's just got a website, but they also might be driven by Instagram or Facebook or something like that. So you'll notice there's a lot of florists out there who actually have a pop-up store. And so usually what they'll do is they'll advertise it on Instagram, and they might say, you know, popping up you know, doing a pop-up store in a restaurant or in a cafe or somewhere like that. Do you know what I mean? So that's that kind of thing. The online businesses are actually quite popular and quite busy. There's some big ones in Melbourne that are Melbourne based, and people just order through the web. So Interflora, which we are a member of, we're affiliated with them. There's a lot of shops there that are actually affiliated, or they're members of Interflora, and that's where the online business comes in. So we will teach you about that as well. The growth potential for manager roles in conjunction with industry employment. So Sarah will answer that one.
Yes, so with even Certificate 3 in Floristry, having that certificate behind you and being working in a florist, that is a wonderful base for becoming a manager in any kind of retail shop. So having the years behind you as well as that certificate, because in the certificate we do quite a lot of policies and procedures, which is wonderful for management, such as safe work, handling of goods, preparing quotations for brides and clients. So we do all these in conjunction. So that is a really wonderful growth potential for manager roles in our shops as well.
Yep. And Sarah, there is a question there. What type of events do you most enjoy to work on?
Honestly, any event.
Yeah.
I love any event, from the initial concept and talking about that with any client, whether it's a bride or business, to the actual installation and seeing the result in person is wonderful. So, and I think that's what I probably like most about the industry, is seeing it from something that's an initial idea to it come to life. Even that beautiful photo there that Alyssa actually planned, and we ordered the flowers, and once we stood back when we had seen the whole room full of those beautiful designs, it's a wonderful feeling, and I think that's probably what I like most about events.
Yeah. And it's actually really enjoyable to watch Sarah work and watch the students as well. And the students see it as well. They see that Sarah, and they've made comments to us before that Sarah and I are really buzzing when we're, you know, planning or doing these events. So when we're actually teaching our students, we sort of get them into it too, and they're sort of all buzzing and everyone's excited and happy. So it's really fun. It's good. Yeah.
So why study floristry at Box Hill Institute? So we do have a wonderful location, Box Hill, and obviously we have that shop, which is wonderful for the students to actually be able to do their serving of customers and seeing their designs sell, and having that safe security network of the teachers there to assist if they need any assistance with customers, any questions about taking the card payments, or reconciling with the FPOS machine, or taking any order details, and making sure that we're there to assist. Our course is hands-on learning to ensure that our students are industry ready. So with that, we are, usually every day we are somehow doing flowers in our classroom, and we're always, this photo is actually just from last week, and they're just all making their flowers for their displays there. So creating in our classroom and being hands-on is so important with floristry. So that's something that's really, I guess, really valid for here as well. So Alyssa and I both have very much industry knowledge. We have over 40 years of combined industry knowledge. And as I did mention, we've both been here through Box Hill TAFE in our younger years, when we both completed certificate 2, 3 and 4 at that time as well in the industry. So focus on truly developing our students to meet career aspirations. That's another one here as well. So, and we do that through industry engagement as well as hands-on learning. So we do have small class sizes here, which is a wonderful benefit as well, and successful career outcomes. So for so many of our students, it's just wonderful to see on Instagram and Facebook when you're following each other, which we do for our social media unit, and seeing them open their businesses for the first time, or buy a business in floristry. And it's just wonderful to see over the years even their work progressing. So they might have an online shop, they might buy an actual retail shop, they may be working for someone, but seeing their work develop is wonderful to see their career grow. So exposure to industry excursions and events throughout the course. We are definitely very involved in our industry. So Alyssa and I both do different excursions, sometimes combined, but most different depending on the class size and the time in the course. So usually we can go to the flower market in Epping and do the actual market tour. It's an early morning tour for that day, but the students very much make it worthwhile. They're very happy to go, even if it's 5 in the morning. And then as well as going to growers and suppliers and competitions and demonstrations and things like that. So is there anything you'd like to add to that?
With our floristry events, we do collaborate with other areas as well. So as we were talking about before with fashion, with their big fashion parade, we collaborate with fashion. So the students in fashion do a final assessment and they do a parade, and we actually decorate and create headpieces and things like that for the models to wear. So your work is actually being seen by, everybody watching the fashion parade. We also do the awards here for Box Hill, and we do graduation and, if there's different birthdays, and sometimes even funeral flowers we do as well. So there are a lot of events, and then with the collaborative projects as well. So we've got fashion, we do things for design, we do things for hospitality, for hair and beauty. We actually do things with photo shoots, so we might actually decorate the backdrop for them and do that kind of thing. So it's good. Yep. So we've got another question on here, and it says, what type of person is best suited to a floristry career? Yep, so anyone is suited to a floristry career. So you would have seen in the photograph on the slide before, there's, a mature age lady in there, and then we've got a really young person in there as well. So really any age, like school age of when you're leaving. So anybody can do that, and right up, as long as you're agile, as long as you can pick up a bucket safely of water, probably about a quarter full of bucket, and, and if you're creative, or even if you're not that creative, we can teach you to be creative, hopefully. But anyone can do it, male, female. You've just got to love flowers and also love to problem solve. And there is a little bit of maths. Well, there's a lot of maths in it, but that's how we make an income. So, yep.
And we do have support services for that as well. So if there is anyone ever needing assistance with computers and maths and things like that, there is support services available to them. So, but definitely anyone that's got a passion for flowers, that's all we really need in a career change for floristry. So let's have a look. So
we've got another question there, and it says, may I ask what the schedule is looking like for 2021? So there is actually a mid-year intake that is starting up in third term or second semester in July. And so the schedule, if we're thinking about 2021, classes would be starting in February. But just going back to mid-year intake this year, which is 2020, the classes are on a Monday through to Wednesday. So it's Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Due to COVID, we'll be in here for 2 days a week doing practical work, and then we'll do a blended delivery for the theory subjects in like your retail subjects. So it will be blended whether you'll be in the classroom or whether you'll be working from home. It just depends on what's scheduled for the day, because some of our retail units are actually customer service, so we do have to do that face-to-face thing. And also as well, the time is from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's a lot of fun. To be honest with you, our students don't want to leave the room. So they really don't. So morning tea, lunch break, even in the afternoons at the end of the day, when the classes finish at 4 o'clock, we've still got students in the room. So a lot of the time, Sarah and I do have to sort of remind them that we need a break too, because they love it so much they want to be around us. So yeah.
There is another question
that just
there's just another question that's come in to say, how can we see what you're doing? So we have a really wonderful Instagram page, which is the Instagram page.
Yep.
What is it? Florist Box?
No, Box Hill Floristry. It is the actual Instagram page, and it's actually it's got a picture of the back of a girl with a bobbed hair with a black Box Hill t-shirt on, and you can see apron straps. So that's it.
We're constantly sharing our students' work, which is amazing, every week, and especially Alyssa, who runs the page, she will share their displays and their wedding bouquets, or even as simple as their corsage and things that they're making. So by going onto our Instagram page, you can have a look at the most beautiful flowers and designs that our current students have been creating.
Yep, so it's Box Hill Floristry, and I'll see, because obviously I'm driving the page, so I'll see if you've joined us, and if you're following us. So please say hi, and I'll say hi back to you so I know that you're there.
Okay, there's one more question that's come through, and what do you enjoy most about floristry? So for myself, I actually learnt quite a few years ago that floristry is actually the most visually pleasing industry to be in, because you are looking at the most beautiful forms of nature in all the different flowers. And each week even I change my favorite flower, from it might be a rose or a peony, depending what I'm using. So because it is just so visually pleasing. So for myself, I just love to look at nature, and I love to look at fresh cut flowers and create with them. So, and yourself, Alyssa?
Yeah, the thing that I like about floristry is it's really giving. So you're actually, you're giving gifts to people all the time. So whether it's for a sad occasion or a happy occasion, you're always creating memories for them, and it's making them smile even if it's sad, and even on a happy occasion, we're just giving the gifts, which is really good. Yeah.
So the two photos on our image page there is, one of them is myself actually creating a sample demonstration of a bridal bouquet, which the students then repeated. And Alyssa has actually just created a lovely hamper design as well. So these are just our real life working classroom photos. We had so many to choose from, but we just had to nail down a couple to make it simple. So as I said, you do get a lot of in-class demonstrations, which even for myself, loving to see visually before I create anything. It's wonderful for the students to see us create, and then they can create their own designs.
Yep, which is great. And someone else is actually asking, how long does the course go for? So the course goes up to 12 months. So it starts in February and it finishes in November. There is also an apprenticeship that you can do as well, and that takes 3 years to do the apprenticeship. Now online there's a slide there saying how to apply. So they're just showing you a clip now.